One tag, 1 week, one shot to make it count. This is for the hunters who hit the road and get after it, no matter the odds. This is Drawn West. Welcome back to another episode of Drawn West. I'm your host, Brian Krebs. Today, I've got one of my, it's kind of weird. I would call you a good friend, even though we don't hang out. But I got Matt Waldron on the podcast, and we're going to talk hunting, which is probably new for you. You probably don't get to talk hunting very much on podcasts.
No, I'm actually super excited for this one because I never get to talk hunting. It's always ice fishing. It's always crappie fishing. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So for folks that live under a rock in Minnesota and haven't watched YouTube in the winter, Matt you're part of a 4-man assault team, I would say.
Yeah.
Like Crappie Team 6 that goes out, and you guys are just crushing on the Crappie Chronicles series. I've been following since day one.
Yeah.
Like the river back, like I think it was season 1, you guys were on a river in like 3 feet of water, catching great crappies. And I'm like, how would you, like, why don't you just reach in and grab them? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
It was just bizarre. And I'm like, they're doing it in the metro. I was like telling everyone, they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, but you don't get it. They're doing it in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And they're like, nah. I'm like, yes, that's the whole point of the show. And then eventually, like everyone, now it's like the biggest ice fishing show on YouTube.
Yeah, it's thank you for that. It's been a lot of work, but it's also been, a ton of fun, doing all these adventures with 4 of my good friends, and I would say 4 of my best friends. It's been amazing. And we base the whole series around the metro, and then we've slowly but surely each season kind of branched out. We make sure to keep including it, but now we've kind of gotten to a point where we kind of beat a dead horse. So now it's time to venture elsewhere. And so now I believe this year we're gonna be doing quite a few trips this year. So it'll be a lot of fun.
I liked it. I just like the style of content you guys do. It's cool that it's like in my backyard.
Yeah.
For sure. But just the way you guys tell stories and like the video and the camera work that Bart and is it Jonathan? Or, I mean, you guys have a couple camera guys that help out throughout the season. Like just the like it's all of that together just makes it what it is to me. It's like you guys can go wherever you want. I'm still gonna watch. You don't even have to catch crappies if you don't want to.
We hired a new camera guy last year. That would be Luke. And Luke actually, now Bart has hired him for other projects as well. So Bart films the Champions Tour, and so Luke helps him with that, and a couple other guys also help him with that. I think Adam DeMarkey, he actually filmed my wife and I's wedding. He also assists with that. Brett Luters, who is a photographer at our wedding, also helps Bart out with the Champions Tour as well. And then Luke now is doing the Chronicles again this year. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's nice. This will be kind of our first year having a full-time camera guy 2 years in a row. We've had different camera guys the last 3 years besides Bart. So it's nice having Luke coming back, and it helps make things flow a lot better because he'll have 1 season under his belt. So now he really has a good idea of what's going on.
Yeah, what shots we want to get, what things we want to,
because we try to
obscure
film
the background.
We try to film things kind of like a Netflix series almost, and at least that's kind of like our goal behind it. So it makes it really nice when you have a guy there 2 years in a row, because he like the beginning part of last year, he was kind of just trying to get a feel for it, and then towards the end of last year, I mean, we were all on the same page, dialed in, knew what we needed to get. He had a shot list in hand. He knew what needed to be done. So it helps because every trip that we do, we have a huge shot list. And mainly to fulfill deliverables for all the sponsors of the show. So it makes it nice when he knows how to make it flow. And he's got it down now, so we're really excited to have him back.
That's awesome. I'm excited for it. I've told you many times, but like my favorite moment in the whole series, I don't know if it was Luke or if it was the camera guy before Luke, but Pink was cooking. You guys were up in the Golden Triangle, and he had this recipe, and apparently this camera guy like does not stray from like his like Midwest, no seasoning, no
Yeah.
pepper, and he dabbles this sauce. I can't remember even what the sauce was called, and he's dying, like
Yeah.
literally dying from one drop of it. Drinking milk, and then the pan, it just zooms, like it just focuses on Griff in the background, just dumping the whole thing on his dog. He's like,
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know.
Yeah, that,
The
that was
camera guy,
actually, so we've had two camera guys named Luke. That was the first Luke. He
oh,
actually, the reason why he is no longer filming with us is he got hired on by Rapala. And
oh, dang.
so he does a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
cool.
Rapala's social media content now.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, it was really cool seeing him move on to that job. It's crazy that he got that job, but he does a lot of that now. So he travels with the Rapala crew all over filming and doing photography work. And yeah, that was Logs Hot Sauce, and that was the Reaper Madness. And it's like, I mean, it's like Griff's crack. He loves that stuff. I mean, he just
It was
douses.
just so funny to watch the new guy just die.
Oh,
And in the
yeah, he didn't
background,
like.
Griff's just
He did not
dumping
have
it. And
fun.
like, yeah, it was, oh, it was so funny. I just
Yeah.
busted out laughing. But
Oh yeah,
so,
for sure.
so you're like famous for crappie fishing, and then like we've talked on Instagram, and we talk about stuff like we're kind of the same way in the regards where it's like if there's anything hunting related on the mind, like I can't focus on fishing.
Yeah.
I can't think about it. I can't. It's like I am so much more interested in hunting
Yeah.
than like I quit ice fishing to start shed hunting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like it's like all right, I basically get, if I tag out early enough until when antlers start dropping is my ice fishing season.
Yep.
And so, and I like talking to you, you're like, I'm the same way, dude. Just no one knows it because I spend so much time fishing in front of a camera.
Yeah. Yeah. And the crazy thing is like, I started hunting like 5 years ago. I didn't grow up hunting at all. Like
Yeah.
I grew up fishing, and that's all, I mean, that's all my dad did. I went down to Nebraska for a branding party a couple years ago, and I took my dad with, and that was the first time he had shot guns since he was a kid. So
Wow.
it's, yeah, and I'm excited because I'm trying to get him into bow hunting now. And it's just taken over my obsessions. Like I've found the thing that is what gets me going. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, this is my thing now.
Yeah.
Like when you find something like that, I remember for shed hunting for me, it was, I went out with I wanted to get into it so bad and didn't know anything about it. And a guy that could hunt our farm because he was like really good friends with one of the like co-owners, and it kind of always made me mad because he's a really good bow hunter and he
Yeah.
was like killing big bucks off our family farm.
Yeah.
And so he brought me out, and we went and we hiked all day, all his spots, didn't find anything. We finally found one tiny antler on my farm, but his dog found it, so he kept it. And that was like, I didn't know shed etiquette
Yeah.
then, and I'm like, what? It's our farm, but it's not really how it works. Like primarily, you just got to talk about it ahead of time when we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, I'm going to show him. So I go home, train my 9-year-old black lab. I'm like throwing cutoffs in this living room and like hide it behind the basket of blankets. And he like picks it up because he watched me put it there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is easy. Like he's trained. Let's go out in the morning. We go out in the morning, and I'm walking this food plot. And sure enough, I hear this little tink, and I look down because it's from him. He did something, but it didn't sound right. Right. We're walking in brass
Yeah.
holes. There's nothing hard.
Yeah.
And his tooth must have hit up. It was just a great shed. It's on the other side of my top wire. And it was the number one hit list buck on our farm that year. And it was the side that he had like a split brow tine.
Oh.
And I'm just like, I picked it up. I couldn't believe it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just won the lottery. Like, and I'm like looking around, like, is this staged? Like, is someone about to jump out of the bushes and like laugh at me? Like, ah, loser, we put that there. It was, and I'm like, this is my thing now.
Yeah.
This shed hunting is my thing.
Yeah. That's awesome. I still haven't actually gone shed hunting. Me and my buddy earlier this year, we went and walked the river valley, just shore fishing the Minnesota and Mississippi River on the confluence where they meet. We walked that valley looking for sheds, but there was boot tracks everywhere. You could already tell people had been there, done that already. But That
Yeah.
was kind of my first experience shed hunting, and I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Your cousin sure had a heck of a year.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Dan, yeah, he had a crazy year, and you got to have him on to tell that story. I
I
don't
will.
want to ruin it for him, but
We
yeah, he
will.
found,
I've held that antler, and we'll tell that story. We'll let him tell the story.
yeah,
But yeah, so it's interesting. I find like so many people know you so well for fishing, but you're like rapidly getting more and more into hunting. So are you hunting? I mean, most of us hunt primarily whitetails close to home because
yeah,
it's close to home.
yeah.
Are you hunting like permission farms? Are you finding public places that just don't have the pressure or like it's worth going to? Like, what's your Minnesota bow hunting look like?
It's all public for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I've done permission pieces. I did a couple permission pieces last year, and I just it's not my forte. Because like my first like real hunting experience that I had
Yeah.
was my buddy Justin Bergeron is the one 5 years ago that really got me into hunting. He's also the one that kind of got me into working out and getting in shape as well because he kind of looked at me and I was 265 and I'm not a big dude by any means. I'm 5'8.5". So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not a big guy. So I was heavy, um, and completely out of shape. But I started listening to Working Class Bowhunter podcast,
Oh yeah.
and I just liked the podcast. It was fun to listen to at work. And Justin is a huge archery guy. He's been to Africa. He's hunted out west a bunch, and so he's the one who really got me into it. And so 5 years ago, the first hunt that I went on was we did a antelope hunt in northwestern South Dakota. We were in the Hardin County area, and so that was the first hunt. So I bought a bow
Archery
that,
antelope?
yeah, yeah,
Oh
archery
boy.
antelope. And so like I bought a bow that spring, and I shot the entire summer. I went all out on the bow setup. You know, I
Yeah.
like Justin's like, well, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna want to do it right. So um, I went and bought a flagship bow. I went and got it all dialed in, and I just started shooting with them every day. And so he pretty much coached me on how to shoot long distance, and we got the bow set up so that I could shoot long distance. And um, yeah, one thing happened after another, and we luckily at the time antelope was over the counter in South Dakota, and so we were able to go and have a really fun hunt. None of us tagged out, but it was still, we had shots that went off. I made a poke at 96 yards at an antelope. Did not go well,
Yeah.
but lost some arrows. But it was amazing. And what I learned from that hunt was it's probably important to, before you go out west, to call the Fish and Game office in that area just to kind of get a lay of the land. We did
Yeah.
not do that, and we didn't know that the winter prior they had a massive winter kill because of how much
Ooh.
snow. They had a really late fall blizzard, and they ended up
Okay.
getting like 4 feet of snow. And we were in town at the bar, just kind of scratching our heads, and we went and talked to a couple of the local ranchers that were at the bar, and they were like, "Yeah, we had like 76 antelope dead in our fence corners," and we were like, well, that makes a lot of sense why we're not
Yeah.
seeing any speed goats anywhere. So it was I learned a ton on that hunt, which is, I wasn't bummed out that I didn't tag out because I learned so much from it.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of try to take away from every hunt now. But hunting around here primarily is public land.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, you picked like one of the harder hunts to do
Mm-hmm.
as your first, like not just your first Western hunt. Like I advocate rifle antelope.
Yeah.
Great first Western hunt.
Yeah.
Archery antelope, that's a different pickle. Like
Oh yeah.
especially if you're public land, spot and stock, and
Yeah.
like it's
And it was
tough.
early season. It was before the rut too, so everything was like against us for it. But I was able to get two shots off at goats. So one
Yeah.
was at 76 yards. It ducked the arrow. The other one was at 96 yards, and at that point, I didn't realize my bow was completely screwed. But I don't know if I would have even made a good shot anyways. But I went on like a mile long stalk on a speed goat, and I was crawling, and I didn't realize that your sight was so delicate on the bow. And so
Oh,
I put it down and put some weight on it, and it completely shifted my second axis. And
oh yeah.
oh yeah, and then it was completely screwed the rest of the hunt. And so we went back after I missed, and I started shooting, and I'm like 3 or 4 feet to the left right now. Like, what is going on? So we tinkered around with it, and I actually ended up my sight, uh, like the little riser piece, the piece that
Yeah.
comes off the riser for the sight was
Yeah.
actually bent because I put
Like
too
a
much weight on
dovetail.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so had to get a new piece for the sight, but I learned a ton, which was
Yeah.
amazing, and that's why I love going out west. Is because every time I go out west, I learn a ton.
Well, and the nice thing, archery antelope is incredibly hard. Spot and stock archery antelope is incredibly hard to tag an animal,
Yeah,
but it's a completely fun hunt. Like you don't wake up early, you don't have to hike up mountains. You're going to see antelope every day
yeah,
for the most part. South Dakota and Nebraska might be a little trickier in places, but like you're going to get reps, like you're going to get
oh yeah,
chances. You're going to be doing things that seem meaningful
yeah. We
the
had
whole
like 3 or
time.
4 every
Yeah.
day. Yeah,
Yeah. And so that sounds awesome. It's just crazy. Like that's just crazy that that was your first hunt. Like didn't even sit in a tree in
mm-mm.
Minnesota quick and just like
No,
yeah.
yeah. It was wild, and then that first fall, hunting back here in Minnesota, I was fortunate enough to take out on a mature buck. So I was
Oh wow, that's
yeah, I was
awesome.
pumped, and that was also um I had a saddle set up. I didn't really like it at the time.
Okay.
I wasn't very used to it at all. I mean, granted, I was very green to everything hunting wise.
Oh yeah.
And so I wasn't used to it. And for me, ice fishing, and I'm a very run and gun type person. I have a really hard time sitting still. So
Okay.
for me, hunting out of a tree, the first couple years was, I mean, I didn't kill a deer out of a tree until last year. And so it was very difficult for me to kind of warp my mind around sitting on a high percentage spot and waiting for a deer to move
Mm,
in.
yeah.
So that first buck that I killed here on public, that was me just hunting from the ground and playing the wind in my favor and still hunting. And that's my favorite way of hunting.
Oh crazy. So you walked basically spot and stock to whitetail.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Oh, it was badass. It was so much
That is
fun.
so cool.
And it was hook, line, and sinker. I had the shakes. I've never had the shakes before. I had the shakes. Like I felt like I was hyperventilating. It was incredible. And I've never had a fish ever do that to me. I mean, I've bass fish tournaments my whole entire life. I've won some really big tournaments on Minnetonka. I've had some really good finishes on Mille Lacs, and I've never had a bass, a crappie, a bluegill give me the shakes like that deer did, and it just ruined me.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, I've caught some big fish like 44-inch northerns. I caught a 48-inch muskie. I've had 50-inch muskies follow.
Yeah.
Those will get an adrenaline spike. Like you'll feel it,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah. You
It's
you
like
you'll
not at
feel
the
your heart
office.
start pumping, but like
The
profusely shaking.
uncontrollable like shivering where you
Yeah.
like even if you wanted to, you couldn't stop moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had that experience until that
Yeah.
deer.
There's
And I've
something
got it
about it.
on the wall downstairs right now. I had to shoulder mount it because it was awesome. It was probably like, it's actually a really cool buck. It was definitely a warrior buck. It was
Yeah.
really, really old. It was half his teeth were missing. He had a bunch of injuries. You could tell he had uh like on his behind his right shoulder, like up in the back strap. You could tell he got hit by a round of some kind.
Oh
And
yeah.
then on his back hind quarter, he had a big indent. And while we were cleaning him, we found a perfect mushroom slug in his back hind quarter. And so I have
Wow.
that in my bedroom right now.
That's pretty. Eventually, you'll be like, you'll meet some old guy at a trailhead down in public, and you'll be like, hey, how's it going? He's like, Back like 10 years ago, man, I had a big one. I know
Yeah,
I hit him. I just
yeah,
couldn't find, you know what I mean? He'd be like,
yeah,
shooting slugs by chance?
yeah.
Like, hell yeah.
He had a split main beam,
Oh,
and
dang.
the one split on it had snapped off from fighting. He had a puncture wound in his neck from fighting. Like he
Oh,
was just an
wow.
old warrior buck. So,
Yeah. He's a tank.
yeah, and I literally had, like, as I was still hunting, I was grunting a little bit, and I didn't know
Hmm.
anything about grunting at the time, but I sat down next to this overfallen dead tree, and I just blew a couple grunt calls on a pinch point, and all of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, I heard something, and I looked to my left, and he was all bushed up, and he definitely saw me turn my head, but he didn't know what I was, and I had the wind in my favor, and I think he was just so fired up that he
Yeah.
came around perfectly behind me, and I had a 10-yard chip shot. It was great.
10 yards? That's
Oh, it was
insane.
wild. And that's the crazy thing right now is, like, I still haven't, the furthest shot I've had. I mean, in hunting public around here, like it's very tight quarters. So I haven't had pretty much a kill shot over 20 yards yet. Everything's been really close.
That's awesome. Well, that's good.
Yeah, it makes it easier. That's for sure,
Yeah.
especially being fairly
Well,
new to
that's the
hunting.
point. Like, the point of bow hunting is to get close.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like, that's when you really feel it.
Oh, and that's what I love about it, because, like, even like I went turkey hunting this year, and this is my first year that I decided to turkey hunt with a shotgun,
Yeah.
and I shot my bird at like 43 yards, and, like, yeah, it got me going, but, like, I kind of want to just go back to bow next year, because
Mhm.
it doesn't do it for me. It doesn't, like,
Yeah.
get me crazy.
Yeah. There's something, like, I still gun hunt, I still rifle hunt, I shotgun hunt, but my favorite is bow. Like, when it
Yes.
works on bow, it's not like, it's like nothing else.
Yeah. There's nothing that compares to it.
No, and that's why I love it so much. I grew up on the private land thing, so
Oh
like
yeah.
from a baby, I was like ingrained and sitting stands, food plots. So I
Yeah.
love the habitat, and I want to get more into like how you hunt. I mean, I'd still probably get in trees, but the run and gun in a tree with the saddle, like moving, checking
Yeah.
spots, like never sit in the same tree twice, that is starting to get more and more attractive to me. And we
Yeah.
just switched over to saddles last year, and I love it. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going back.
Yeah, I just got a new saddle setup that I'm really excited to break out this year. And so I I'm starting to shift back over to it, because, I mean, every year I bust a couple really big bucks down here, and down here, like, our deer numbers aren't doing nearly as good as they used to. We have a 5 deer limit down here. It's technically a CWD zone, and
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen a deer carcass that had died from either EHD or CWD. And I mean, I saw one probably 2 years ago when we had that drought, but
Okay.
it hasn't been bad. But our numbers are just so bad right now because it's a 5 deer limit.
Yeah.
And it's just every year I get less and less pictures of deer on cameras that I put out. And
Mhm.
so now I am starting to shift over to hunting out of a tree
Mhm.
versus hunting from the ground. And there are days where I will hunt from the ground. Like, if I have like a 15-mile-an-hour wind, and it sets up good for a certain spot, I'll go in from the ground. And I have little areas where I know there's fallen down trees or whatever, because I like to go and scout the properties, like,
Yeah.
right now, like this time of year, just to see, because every year they change. There's deadfalls that'll go over trails and stuff, and so it'll change deer patterns. And
Yeah.
the neighboring properties around the pieces of public that I like to hunt will have different ag in. They'll have beans or corn, and that'll change how the spots set up every year. So I am finding myself shifting more over to hunting out of a tree more now, especially since I've learned to calm myself down a little and to sit still.
Yeah.
Um, but there's hunting from the ground. I just love it, because, especially hunting public, I can do whatever I want. I
Yeah.
can go wherever I want. I can walk and find new areas, and it's almost
Yeah.
like I'm scouting as I'm hunting.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
it's helped me learn pieces of public better than if I were to just pick a spot and sit in a tree. I might screw up a hunt but that's something I can learn from.
Yeah. I do. Oh, get shed hunting here. Like I started shed hunting some of the publics around my house, and I'm like, this is some sweet spots. Like
Yeah.
I doubt many people are getting back in here where I am this
Yeah.
way or seeing this. Like I could definitely do so, and that's where I think I'm gonna start like getting the XOP saddle system, like run and gun, lightweight. Like I'm two sticking, and I
Yeah.
can get up 16 feet
Yeah.
because I'm super tall. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, no, I think I want to do more of that. But it sounds like your experience, like start out archery antelope, like boom, hot
Yeah.
right out of the gate. Now you're
Yeah.
like spot and stock and whitetails in
Yeah.
Minnesota. So like didn't take your foot off the gas by any means. Have you
No.
gone out west since that first trip?
Yeah, a couple times. A couple of my buddies have a cattle ranch out in Nebraska. And
Okay.
so we did so one of my buddies that hunts the property, he does gun. So we do archery early season, and that way we can let the property take a break because there's quite a few people that'll go grouse hunt the property.
Okay.
And so and it's in the sand hills, so it's very rolling hills,
Oh, I
blowouts where
know.
they bed.
Yeah.
And so I did that one the year after that antelope hunt. Was a ton of fun, learned a lot. I was lucky enough to tag out on the oldest deer on their property that was just a little forky at this point because it had regressed so much.
Wow.
Had a
Yeah.
big giant Roman nose, and so that one was super cool. And I've actually still got that one in the freezer. I have to go, and I still haven't Euroed it yet. That'll be this next summer's project. Is I've got two deer that I want to Euro,
Oh, nice.
both sitting in the freezer downstairs. So that'll be probably next summer's project. And it was in velvet, so I was super jacked up about that. Um,
Oh, so
and
that's why it's in the
then
freezer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then last year, I took like a year off of hunting out west, and then last year, Justin and I actually drew a Montana general deer tag.
Oh, nice.
We put in as a group. Actually, we weren't thinking that we were going to get drawn, but luckily we did. And so we both tagged out. Luckily, I'm still shocked that I did, but I had told myself from the get go, this is like my true first public land mule deer hunt. So the first, legal buck that I see, which is pretty much any buck over there, first buck that I see, I'm gonna, try to see if I can put a stock on it. And I was lucky enough to do that.
That's crazy. That is so cool. Like you have the coolest hunting pedigree. Like for someone that's been hunting 5 years to have like done the stuff you do, and I feel like it's probably cool because and it works because you didn't grow up seeing a pattern. Like you didn't grow up watching your dad for 10 years do it his way and then thinking for the next 10 years that's the only way.
Yeah.
And then that spending the 10 years after that, like, well, wait, maybe there are other ways, and like having to like break all those habits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for
It
better
was
or worse,
cool.
like not to say anyone's dad doesn't hunt the right way. It's just like you see that one way.
Yeah.
If they own, like my dad hunts one way. He's a gun deer hunter. Every now and then I can convince him to go out with the crossbow, but
Yeah.
he just hunts that way, and that's his method of hunting. And so for my whole life, that's how I've hunted too,
Yeah.
and it works.
Yeah.
It
And
works great when you have
that's,
private.
yeah, exactly. And so I think like the biggest thing for me is since I didn't have that, I didn't have any outside influences. I just wanted to learn everything about it. So
Yeah.
I just became a podcast and YouTube junkie on hunting stuff. And you can ask my wife the amount of elk bugles that she's heard, just loud, annoying elk bugles in
Yeah.
the living room
Yeah.
is insane. And so I just became a information junkie on it. And that's kind of like how I approach everything that I do in life, is that I just go, balls to the walls and just try to focus on it. And so what I realized really quick is deer are not that far off from what fish do. They
Really?
have their habits. They like to do
Okay.
certain things. They like to use terrain fairly similarly. Like, when it's nasty out, they'll go into the bottoms. Well, fish, they'll push out deeper into the basin when it's nasty. They don't necessarily go super shallow. So
Mm.
they use points. They use pinch points. There's a lot of similarities, and I think it's not necessarily fish versus animal, but they're all animals in their own sense, and they all kind of have the same habits. They like
Yeah.
to be close to food. That's a big thing. They like to have their resting areas and they have their feeding areas. And so there's a lot of similarities, and I think doing so much fishing and tournament fishing, it kind of got me into that mindset of learning how to dissect, properties. And I just
Mm,
look at them like I do with lakes. I
yeah.
look at what's the highest percentage area that I'm going to find a deer. Well, it's probably going to be in an area that is going to be close to food. It's going to be close to bedding. And it just depends on the time of the year. And then like when it comes down to like the rut, I look at it as like pre-spawn bass fishing almost. Is you're gonna
Yeah.
have to find the staging area for bass, where they're gonna be pushing up to spawn, but they're still actively feeding, trying to, get as much food in them as possible. Well, pre-rut is kind of the same way. They're going to be close to those food areas, but they're going to start cruising around. So that's when I like to start looking at like pinch points and stuff like that, and areas of transition where they're going to be moving through. And that's kind of the same way it is for bass fishing as well, pre-spawn. So
Yeah.
there's times of the year where there's a little bit of a correlation,
Yeah.
and that I kind of think attributing all the fishing that I've done kind of help with that, learning just how to
Yeah.
dissect stuff.
It makes a lot of sense for sure. Like if you're like me growing up, I was kind of the fisherman that, hey, let's go fishing, let's see what happens, let's see what we catch.
Yeah,
Go to our spots. And that's fine. I mean, a lot of people fish that way, and that's fine. But if
yeah,
you're like doing what you did, like competition fishing, like we need to catch fish today, no matter what the weather is, no matter
yeah,
like we got to figure out. We can't just fish our favorite spots and see what happens.
yeah,
Well, you could, but you're gonna lose. Like
yeah,
you have to go the step beyond and say why are fish where they're at right now? Where are they going to be based on what you know what I mean? Like you have to start playing the check. You have to play chess instead of checkers.
yeah,
And
exactly.
and I think a lot of people whitetail hunting can be in that mindset as well when they're like, "Hey, I'm just going to go out to my favorite stand. It's on private. We got a food plot. Um, let's see what happens
Yeah,
today." And you're like, "That works if you have like unlimited time. Eventually, they'll be there.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, if you have perfect access and a box blind over a food plot, like set it every day. Eventually, the big buck's going to walk by.
yeah,
But if you're like, I don't have public, like I only have certain days to hunt. I got to get done before Bart wants me fishing. Like
yeah,
there's it's like I got to figure them out where they are today.
yeah. Like middle of November is my hard cutoff, and so it's pretty much I've just from hunting a bunch of the pieces of public and just spending time on them
Yeah,
whenever I can. I've kind of learned the areas that the deer move through.
yeah,
And so a lot of it has just been trial and error on the wind,
yeah,
figuring out what wind works for not only me, but also the deer. Because, like, I learned that really quick. Like, the biggest mistake that I was doing the first 2 years, I wasn't seeing any deer hardly at all. And what I didn't realize is I was completely screwing myself on the wind. And I was hunting wind that was great for me. It was great for my access. It was great for the tree that I was sitting in, but it wasn't great for the deer movement, and they weren't moving through on those days. And
yeah,
so that I think was the thing that it took me the longest to learn is that, and actually I learned it from those working class bow hunter guys was, they call it a whiskey wind, the wind that's kind of good for you, but also kind of good for the deer is usually the
yeah,
best wind where it's riskier. There's a chance that you'll blow the hunt and you'll get picked off, but that's going to be also the best likelihood that a deer is going to move through. And
yeah,
it took me a while to really figure that out. But once I started figuring out, what winds work on different spots, now I can pick and choose.
yeah, yeah. You have getting those options, like an arsenal of options for like any wind, basically, like any weather, any wind. And that's like you've talked to me about like how you guys find lakes, and they're like this lake works on this weather front. This other lake doesn't do jack shit when the weather's like that.
Yeah.
We need this other. It's like, well, it's like sometimes it's high pressure, sometimes it's low pressure. So, like, every lake's different,
Yeah.
every fish is different. So it's pretty interesting. If someone gave you the choice, like a little I don't know, little lawn gnome jumps out at you, and they're like, "Hey, you can either have a 160-inch buck with your bow this fall, or you can catch a 19-inch crappie on film.
Hundred
You can't
sixty
do
inch
both."
buck, hands down. And the boys are gonna be so mad at me for saying that, but I don't care. Like for me, it's 100% like if you give me a choice of what I am going to do, it's 100% gonna be with a bow in my hand.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's part of the. It's like it will be with a bow. Like he gets to tell you that. But
Yeah.
no, it's a. I mean, 19-inch crappie is a big crappie.
Yeah, it's a huge crappie. I've been fortunate enough to see one, and it's yeah, they're
It's
ridiculous.
that's getting to be like once in a lifetime crappie for virtually everyone. But like
Yeah,
even for like what in someone in your trade,
yeah,
it's still kind of once in a lifetime crappie. A
it
160 is a
is.
huge buck, but it's not a once in a lifetime buck for
No,
if you don't
it's
want it to
not.
be.
But at the same time, there's nothing that gets my heart pumping like what a deer does. Doesn't matter if it's a 160-inch buck or a doe. I shake like crazy after the shot on all of them. So like
Yeah.
it's just there's nothing that really compares to it. And for me, it's one of those things where it's I mean yeah, it would be incredible to catch a crappie of that caliber on film. Like it would be amazing, but at the same time, like selfishly, there's just nothing that gets me as excited as shooting a deer and watching that arrow disappear.
Oh, I don't don't get me wrong. I'm with you. I'm gonna take the buck too. A doe, I might catch the 19-inch crappie for the doe, but
Yeah,
for a buck, I still get the shakes for does too. But yeah, no, I'm right there with you. The one like a true 160 in Minnesota, almost Minnesota anywhere you hunt. I think people don't understand how rare that is. Like
yeah,
how few bow hunters will ever shoot a 160.
yeah,
I mean, it's like I think the Hunter podcast once they had somebody on and they're like statistically 10% of bow hunters will ever shoot a Pope and Young, which is 125,
yeah, yeah,
right? And so if you're like, it's like everyone seems like everyone's shooting 160. It's like if you live on private land in Iowa, sure, like 160 might be a lot more feasible, but public land in Minnesota, like good luck, brother.
yeah,
Like if you see a 140 on public in Minnesota, like you are seeing the monster deer.
yeah, exactly. And so that's why for me, I have hyper focused in on like hunting the river bottoms.
Okay.
For me, like 90% of my archery deer hunting is somewhere along the Mississippi and Minnesota River. There's
Yeah.
just giant deer. They move like besides the south and north side of the river, there's tons and tons of public that is very close to the river. But besides that, it's almost all agriculture land that's all private surrounding it.
Okay.
And so there's just a ton of big deer, like huge deer, that run up and down those two rivers. And so for me, that's where I spend a lot of my time and where my primary focus is hunting those areas. And it's frustrating because there's so much land to cover, but
Yeah.
it's also a lot of fun because you get to learn, see something new almost every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the river bottom hunting to me is like so foreign
Yeah.
because I never like our all of our properties. I mean, now I have a swamp, which isn't fun either here on the 40, but like our family
That's
farms, that's all.
similar to the river bottom stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of standing water, and then but all of our stuff I grew up on hunting is high, basically high and dry. I mean, there's some willow, but like typical farm country.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and it's flat as a pancake. Like there's no topography on our entire farm.
Yeah.
So you talk about like deer using structure. Completely agree. But to me, it was like, it's like there's not a single foot of elevation difference on this whole farm. So
Yeah.
like I don't know what you mean when you say go find a ridge. Like
Yeah.
there's not a ridge on
Yeah.
any of the farms around us. It's all flat.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
And
just
that,
kind of got
yeah.
lazy. I think that way. Like you just never had to worry about it. You never had to worry about thermals
Yeah.
whitetail hunting.
And that's like 90% of what I do is it's like On the river bottoms, granted, it's elevation on a small scale compared to when you and I go out west, but
Yeah.
it's, I mean, there's 20, 30, 40 foot of elevation changes, and it's consistently changing.
Yeah.
And so that's what I like to hunt, because it makes more sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
and it also is the same way when I fish lakes. Like, for me, my least favorite lakes to fish are the flat, featureless bowls. I hate
Yeah.
those lakes because it's literally you're drilling holes until you find the fish,
Yeah.
and
Red
that's
Lake,
it.
like there's nothing. It's just
Yeah.
8 foot
And
swimming pool.
and so that's why I like hunting areas that have some sort of topography to it, because I wouldn't say it necessarily makes it easier, but it gives you a starting point.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Especially if you've never been there. Like,
Yeah.
if you got private that's flat, like just put cameras up for a couple of years and put a food plot in and you're golden. But
Yeah.
if you go to a new farm and it's flat, where do you start? Where do you
Yeah.
go? What do you, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we got our finger ridge. Here's like the, I don't remember what they call them, but the little ridge on the main ridge. It's like that. It's like it's probably going to bed here. They're going to use this access to get up and in and to food
Yeah.
and down back into bedding. Like that's you can start to apply a formula for it for
Yeah.
sure. So that's real good. Before I wanted to ask you one thing, or well, it's probably going to turn into more than one thing. But before we do that, I almost forgot, and the folks are going to be mad at me, but we got to release a secret code word
Oh
for
yeah.
our Matthews giveaway.
Oh yeah.
So if folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're giving away a bow. Plain and simple. No gimme whammy. We're not pumping merch. We're not selling stupid stickers. You don't have to spend any money to win. We're just giving away a bow. You get signed up for free with your email at getdrawnwest.com, and you get bonus entries for a whole bunch of stuff, all free. And one of them is listening to the podcast. And you got to email this code word to me or DM it to me at brian@getdrawnwest.com, or just over at Instagram at getdrawnwest. But this week's code word, we're going to go with Waldo, which
Yep.
is Matt's trade name. It's his
Yep.
stage name. That's
Yeah.
what he it's what he uses when he's ice fishing. Waldo,
Yep.
from Crappie Chronicles. Go give Matt a follow as well and check out some monster crappies. But that's the code word, folks. Waldo, one
Yep.
word. If you can't spell that, we'll have to talk later. But you send it in. So that being said, we got the code word out of the way before I forgot.
Yep.
What's getting you excited when you're thinking about hunting? I know this fall you've got some family that you're working on. You got a little one coming, so this fall might not be the same as years past, but longer term, like maybe multiple years out, what's getting you excited? The adventures that you want to go on now that you're
Yeah.
like starting to like, I feel like you're starting to like really hit your stride from the stories you're telling. Like it's
Oh
been
yeah.
5 years, like we've had success. Like it's just getting better and better. It's like I'm
Yeah.
not fading, I'm not losing the interest. Like this is it.
Yeah.
Now, like what are you thinking about coming up?
Yeah. So this fall I will be doing, I wouldn't say a bunch, but I'll be whitetail hunting around here quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually like Anna and I haven't bought meat from a grocery store in quite a few years. Mainly because I buy, a third cow or a quarter cow every year from my buddy's ranch, and then the rest is venison,
Yeah.
and so that's what we eat. And so, uh, unlike fishing, she really wants me to go hunt, and she wants me to fish too,
Oh
because
yeah.
she knows it scratches the itch for me. But she really wants me to hunt because that fills the freezer, and she absolutely loves venison.
Yeah.
She likes it more than beef, which is awesome for me. So I'll be doing quite a bit of whitetail hunting this year. And I've tweaked my saddle setup. So I'm, ready to go for that. I got new strings for the bow. So
Nice.
I just picked up the bow from Cabin Fever, would have been probably last week. And so now this next week is when I'm going to start regularly shooting again. And I would have liked to do it earlier, but it took quite a while to get the strings. I bought them from a small shop in Wisconsin. It's called A3 Archery.
Okay.
They use those bloodline strings, and
Okay.
so far from the few times I've already shot it, shooting lights out. I love it. The strings I had before were constantly stretching. I'm pretty sure I just got a bad batch, and so I was
Oh
constantly
yeah.
fighting that last year, which was not fun to me. I had to go get my string twisted a bunch just to be able to shoot consistently, and
Yeah.
it was a headache. So I said, screw it, this year I'm just going to go with brand new strings and let her buck and
Yeah.
see how it goes. And so far, so good. So I'm really excited this year. I've got a spot that I have seen biggest buck I've ever seen, and I've seen him 2 years in a row. Opening day, um, one time I was in a tree. I got out of the tree, and it was like 11:30 on opening day, early season, not expecting to see a deer at all. And I look up, and he's 20 yards from me, and I did not have an arrow
Wow.
knocked because I literally just got out of the tree. So that sucked. I would have had a perfect shot on it too because it was just standing there looking at me broadside. The first year that I saw him through cattails, and he came the direction I did not think he was going to come, and he ended up picking me off with the wind, so that sucked. But it's 2 years in a row now, so I'm going to
Yeah.
dive in there this year. I know what wind I need, um, and I'm probably just going to say screw it and do an all day sit, just because it's one of
Yeah.
those things where now I realize he could come at 5 p.m. He could come at 9:30 in the morning. He could come at noon. So
Right.
I'm probably just gonna do an all day sit for that one. And then I figured out a couple river bottom spots that were
Yeah.
good pre-rut as well. So I'm gonna hunt those too. What I really need to do though is make the investment over the next few years and get an e-bike so that I can get further back into those river bottom spots, because luckily a couple of the spots I found are super close to the access point that people walk past to
Okay.
get to other areas that are
Yeah.
good. But there's some areas that are like 2, 3, 4 miles back that I want to get to. And if I had the e-bike, it would make it a little bit simpler. So I'm probably going to be doing some shopping around for that over the next couple years.
Yeah.
Um, Western hunt wise, with the baby on the way, I have decided that I was not going to hunt Nebraska this year. I wasn't going to do any Western hunts this year. I was going to take the year off from it, just hunt
Yep.
whitetail around here so I'm close to home. And then next year, I'm hopefully going to do 2 Western hunts. We'll see.
Nice.
I'm going to
Yeah.
try to do two. Um, I'm going to try to see what I can draw for Wyoming. And
Okay.
then I'm going to do Nebraska.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Wyoming deer or antelope or
I'm
elk?
going to do mule deer for
Mule deer.
Wyoming.
Okay.
I'm going to save points for antelope until I get around like the 6 or 7 point range, I think.
Okay.
And then elk, I'm just going to wait on elk for a little bit because that is such a different game. Like the elk, I want to really spend time practicing mouth calling.
Okay.
And it's one thing I'm horrible at, especially even with turkeys. Blowing a mouth call is not my forte. I have zero idea or way of figuring it out. So it's been a lot of trial and error, and I sound like a dog that just had its vocal cords taken out. Like
Yeah.
it's not good. So that's one thing I really want to work on and get better at before I make the jump to go on an elk hunt. Mainly
Yeah.
just because like you need to have that cow call in your mouth while you have your hands on the bow and you have an elk coming in.
Yeah.
From everything
Kind
that
of.
I've seen, like that's one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that I have that. Otherwise, like I'm relying on a guy calling for me behind me,
Well,
trying
that's
to.
better. That's always better.
Yeah, that's always better, but like I like
But the
bench.
problem is when you shoot yours, then it's his turn, and
Yeah,
now you got to be calling for him, and
exactly.
that's a ton of pressure. Yeah.
Exactly. And like with how bad I am at it, I just don't want to even dabble with it.
I
So,
used to be terrible as well. My brother used to like have elk calls, and he was going elk hunting when I was young, and I couldn't blow that thing to save my life. I
yeah.
mean, it always was just awful. And eventually, I don't know what clicked. I think I got a different one, to be honest. And then it was like, oh, well, this is easy. And then once I
Yeah.
figured that easier one out, now I can do any of them again.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think it really helps to like you've obviously watched the Corey Jacobsons,
Oh
Paul
yeah.
Medell,
Yep.
and it's like it's one thing when they're like, "Oh, you do this," and then you do it, and it's like, "Who?" And
Yeah.
you're like, but then they're not there to say, "Oh, this is what happened,"
Yeah.
right? Like if you call, like if you and I were together shooting bows and I'm like, oh, hey, that was too much pressure. Just like back your like tongue pressure off. Or, oh, that sounds like you got like, spit in it or something. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can, because I've done them all. So then I can be like, oh, this is, try that. And then that will help clear it up a lot faster. If you can get someone that's done it to
Yeah.
like listen to you and
Yeah.
not laugh.
Well, yeah,
Hopefully.
it's definitely funny
Yeah.
listening to me blow mouth call. It does not sound good in the slightest. So
Yeah. No,
that's
it'll go a
yeah,
long ways. I think personally, the way you already hunt, like being comfortable being on the ground, spotting and stalking, elk are like the easiest of the four things we've talked about to spot and stalk.
yeah. I wouldn't know,
Maybe
but
mule deer might. So here's the thing: mule deer are tricky to find, right? You got to
yes,
find one. You got to get it bedded.
yeah,
Then it's like, okay, he's probably going to be there for the next 6 hours. We got high
yeah,
sun. He might shift a little to get in the shade. And you make your game plan and you try it. And you're either
yeah,
going to win or you're going to lose. And then
yeah,
but then you have to go find another one. That's usually the tricky part.
yeah,
Elk, sometimes if you're in the right spot at the right time of the year, they'll tell you where they are. They're going
yeah,
to bugle. And they're
yeah,
like, okay, now I know it. But you don't see them. You're going in blind. The trick is then there's going to be a herd.
yeah,
And so you got to go real slow and you got to make sure you don't get busted by a cow before you find the bull and shoot the bull.
yeah,
But for the most part, like elk have a very high threshold compared to like a whitetail for like a personal bubble space.
yeah,
Like whitetail just come out of their skin if you get inside their personal bubble and
yeah,
it's big. Elk are like, yeah, I'm 1,000 pounds.
yeah,
Like, how much can you really hurt me? I mean, if they
yeah,
smell you, it's over. But you can get away with a little movement.
yeah,
Yeah. So I
yeah.
think your skill set there is going to be awesome. Like
Yeah, I'm
you might just be
excited
like,
for
hey,
it.
screw the call. Like, just tell me where he is, and I'm gonna. As long as you can keep him bugling, like
Yeah,
that would be the ultimate setup. Is if you had a caller that could stay 300-400 yards away and just keep him talking like a cow call and get him to sound off, and then to let you get in and
yeah,
just sneak all the way in and kill him. Like that's so lethal because that elk doesn't feel threatened yet. If
hmm,
you're trying to get in and call him into you, a lot of things can happen. Like that bull could just be like, hey, I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to leave. And he just takes his cows and leaves. And that happens a lot. You're like, oh, I thought we had a bull here. It's been an hour. We haven't heard him again. We haven't seen him again. Like, well, he just left.
yeah.
So I think when you get that leap, when you make that leap, you're going to just
Yeah, I'm
run.
excited for it, but I'm kind of hooked on mule deer right now. I'm not gonna lie, like I love it. Like, yeah, the finding them is the hard part. Um, from what I've learned, it's pretty much is if you find food fairly close to water, there's more than likely going to be deer around in
Yeah.
some sort of another. But I learned really quick that getting out there on a glassing ridge before the sun rises is insanely important,
Oh,
especially early
yeah.
season, because that's all the mule deer hunting that I've done. I've never done like a pre-rut or a transition hunt or a rut hunt for mule deer. It's always been early season. You know, it's
Yeah.
100 degrees out, you're sweating your ass off, but I kind of like that a little bit more because they're still in a pattern. You know, they're still
Yeah.
focused on food and water and bedding. So
And you can do things that seem valuable.
yeah,
Like if you're out in the rut, it's kind of like a sit and wait. Like you're not going to spot and stalk them because they're running around all day.
yeah, it's a crapshoot, and you just got to
Yeah.
find the area that they're moving in, and then hope you get close enough for a shot.
Yeah.
And
Whereas it's like you always feel like you're doing something meaningful. Like, oh, we're looking for a buck. Oh, we found a buck. Oh, now we're making a plan. Now we're getting in. Oh, it didn't
yep,
work. Okay, now we're finding another buck. It's always something meaningful. You're not
yeah,
just like, oh, we're sitting here waiting until we see one or until one runs by us.
yeah, yeah, and that's probably my favorite part about it. And so I'm really looking forward to next year's Western hunts because I believe I'm gonna I'm gonna try to do a rut hunt out west. I think I'm gonna try to do South Dakota. I've got 1 point built up in South Dakota right now, so I'm gonna try to cash in when I get 2 points next year.
And
Um,
do a rut mule deer or rut whitetail.
uh, well, to be honest with you, I want to say mule deer, but a lot of the areas in western South Dakota, if you get close to a river, has both.
Yeah.
So to be
Yeah,
honest,
be
it'd be
either.
the first
Yeah.
shooter buck of either species.
Yeah.
Is what I'll take. I don't discriminate on that side. Like for me, I'm so new. Like I
Yeah.
what like the biggest piece of advice that I've learned is that you take what you get.
Oh
So
yeah.
for me, like even hunting around here, if it's a shooter buck, which means for me, if it's outside its ears at this point,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the shot. And if it's at the end of the season and I only have a couple days left, I'll take a smaller buck if I can, or I'll shoot a doe.
Yeah.
Like for me, and like my buddy Justin actually told me this, and he's like, well, since you're so new at hunting, you just need to take every opportunity you get at a legal animal
Yeah.
and try to bury an arrow through it.
Yeah.
And so that's what my main focus is just trying to rack up as many kills under my belt as I can, because each
Yeah.
one is a different experience. Each one has a learning point to it. And so that's my main focus right now, is that. And so I'm hoping that within the next few years I can work my way up to, doing an elk hunt. I would absolutely love that. Like I've got a list of bucket list hunts, like before my 40th. I just turned 30 a couple weeks ago, and before my 40th I want to do an Alaskan caribou hunt. Like
Yeah.
that's huge on my bucket list. I just love the way caribou look. I love the way their rack is shaped. They're kind of like that mid-size animal, so it's not too much of a process. Like doing a moose hunt would
No.
just be a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, we're almost the same age, so maybe by the time I'm 40, I'll be ready to go on a caribou hunt too, and we can go
I'd be
together.
game. I would
shoot some bulls.
100% be in.
Yeah.
And
No, caribou doesn't scare me too much. I mean, you just got to plan some logistics, but they're like a mule deer plus a whitetail. Like it's
yeah,
doable. You can pack that out. A moose is like, oh my god, you got to move a house.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you need 4 guys with you, and
Yeah.
everyone makes 2 trips just to get that thing out.
Yeah. No, it'd be cool. I want to find out that pain point someday too, but
Yeah.
yeah. No, I get it. Mule deer is my current fascination as well. I'm cheating a little bit. I'm using the old 300 Win Mag.
Oh yeah. Are you
But
going
yeah,
out west this year?
Yeah, Abby and I drew Colorado mule deer tags,
Oh
and
heck yeah.
in a slammer unit, dude. Like,
Nice.
I mean, 180-inch potential. We elk hunted the unit right next door. I saw the biggest mule deer of my life walking out one night. He was like so wide and boxy, like out square, vertical. Like, if you held up your arms like the goalpost sign,
Oh
that's
yeah.
what he looked like. And he was 200 yards away, and the first thing that jumped out to me was his mass. I'm just like, he was probably in velvet, but I'm like, that thing's got 2x4s.
Oh geez. So you're talking like high 20-inch spread, just a freaking magnum.
Probably. He's just a huge, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about mule deer is they're not like whitetails where they have like a ton of mass, or like you have a ton of really wild characteristics. Like a big mule deer, you just see that field goal post, like you were saying, and it's just like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, and it was just, I remember how square and boxy it was, just straight out, straight up. Some of them, I mean, they come in all shapes and sizes, but it was just beautiful. It's perfect. And so,
Yeah.
and that was
love
the
the way
unit
they
right
look.
next door.
And like the other cool thing that like I don't hear a ton of people talk about, but like with mule deer, like if they pick you off, they'll bound like 20-30 yards and then stop and stare at you.
Sometimes, yeah, if you don't really spook them,
Yeah, if you don't really spook them, like if they get like a brief wind of you, or I mean, Montana,
like if a rock stumbles a little bit, they'll jump up and be like, "What was that?"
Yeah, that's a better example. If a rock like stumbles, if they slightly hear something, or they might see a little bit of movement, they'll stop, stand there, look, and then they might bound away 20-30 yards and then stop, stare, and look again, trying to really figure out what it was. And you can get like secondary shot opportunities. Whitetails, they hear, see, smell anything at all, they're gone.
Yeah. You think you could find a way to apply like the same storytelling and like creation that you guys put into Crappie Chronicles with like a mission? I think part of what makes Chronicles special is like you guys have a mission that you're like and everyone's following along and rooting for you to beat, like to win, right?
Yeah.
You think you could apply that somehow and figure out a way to do like Crappie Chronicles but for bucks?
Oh, for sure. 100%. You definitely could.
I don't know what it would be though. Like, I don't know what the mission, like the original Chronicles missions, like we're going to try to put the biggest crappies on the ice downtown, like within the metro.
Yeah.
A pretty cool mission, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't if you're just like, hey, we're gonna put the biggest bucks on the ground on our private lease in Iowa. It's like, well, you and everybody else on YouTube,
Yeah.
so not as special. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, like what you could do. Also, very hard. Like
Yeah.
you you can't just do it. Like you can fish one day and tell a story.
Yeah.
You can't really go to South Dakota for one day.
No, you can't. Yeah,
So
the bigger thing, it would be like, it would be a process, like filming for hunting. And I know, like, Pink, the cook on our show,
yeah.
he's one of the best Western hunters I know. He does 3 to 5 Western hunts every fall. He's been doing it for 10 plus years. His basement is called the Bone Zone. The amount of racks and
Oh, I thought it
sheds
was because
that,
how many kids he has.
oh yeah, he does. Luckily, he doesn't have any kids right now. The
Okay.
amount of like sheds and mounts in his basement are just insane. Like, he's got a 195-inch mule deer that has velvet partially stripped. Like, it's crazy. He's got a ton of hunting experience, and so he does a lot of self filming of hunts as well.
Yeah.
And pretty much like I don't know. It would be a different type of story. You would have to find the story within the hunt itself, from scouting all the way through
Yeah.
to the end of the season when you can no longer go anymore. So you would just
And if
kind of
that
have
was
to.
local, I was
Yeah,
thinking like travel. Like we like I don't maybe both, but like we do like 6 different states, and like
yeah. If you
the
do
thing is like
local, like
yeah,
locals, it's one of those things where you see a couple different types of stories on YouTube. It's either the story of a specific deer, or you see a story of a season,
yeah,
is what I've seen the most of.
right.
So it kind of depends on what your approach wants to be. I think, to be honest with you, a lot of the way things are done is you have to look at how things are filmed.
Yeah.
That'll
I was
be
thinking like a hunting public because they have their unique way that they do things, and their vibe is like it's all public and we just go.
Yeah, that's my
And I was
favorite.
thinking
Those
like,
are my favorite guys to watch.
oh, for sure,
Yeah,
100%. And it's
that's
like
yeah,
because it's kind of both. Like you're right, they have a story in a season and it follows them through it. That's usually not about one buck because they're always in random spots. They don't know where the bucks are.
yeah,
But the challenge is they're always like, we're just gonna throw a dart on the map and shoot one on public. And I was like, like that style, but like that many different states like they do,
yeah,
it would be so much fun. It maybe it's like to really like rip off Chronicles. It's like we're gonna put the biggest bucks on the ground within 60 miles of a metro
yeah,
in every state. Like you're going to Kansas City and you're hunting like
yeah,
city bucks. That
yeah,
would be tricky, but like you know what I mean. Like that might not be. It was just it would be so cool, and then it'd be like exactly what you like. It'd be your very best passion mixed with like the skills that you guys have. You'd
yeah.
be like, we're gonna do this forever.
Yeah, and like I've debated on like self-filming hunts. I've thought about it a lot. It's one more moving part that I don't know I want to incorporate just quite yet, because I'm still
Oh,
in that. And that's the nice thing about hunting, is you're realist, and even fishing as well. You're always learning. Like,
yeah,
the learning never stops, which is why I love both sports a ton.
yeah,
But like for me, I think one of the biggest things I enjoy about hunting, even if I go out and I do not see a deer, for me, that day was more enjoyable for me than any of my film days. I mean, yeah, the days that you crack them ice fishing are amazing, and you get to rewatch and relive all those moments, and it's incredible. But there's so much work that goes into
yeah.
filming, and that's one of the things, because like I've had a bunch of people ask me, they're like, oh, you're getting super into bow hunting now, are you debating on doing any filming? And I'm like, no, to be honest with you, there's no debate at all.
I was gonna be like,
Because
don't do it.
yeah,
Don't.
yeah,
I've done it. I've tried it. It's so, especially if you think you're gonna film like episodes.
yeah,
It's like B-roll, this, that, the other thing,
yeah,
and it's like, well, I'm running late, camera's dead, and you just like, I gotta get B-roll, and I gotta get this shot, and I gotta get that shot. Takes all the fun out of it. It
yeah,
really does. It's like if you're a hunter, filming hunts doesn't work very well. If you're a
yeah,
creator that dabbles with hunting, then like you probably will enjoy that.
yeah,
But if you're like, I'm a hunter, then it's so hard. If you
Yeah,
don't, I think what's good and what you could do is like get like a painted arrow. I don't know if you know what that is. It's the stabilizer where you snap your magnet phone on it
I have
and
it.
you just
Yeah,
hit record. Okay, so like
yeah,
that's awesome. You're like, dude, look how close this buck got.
yeah,
Like, I'm not trying to be like the next, Drury Outdoors.
yeah,
That's so much pressure. Like, start there and or like strap a GoPro to your like the top of your tree and just hit
yeah,
go on looping. Like, you know that. It's like you live with GoPros. Like, that's
yeah,
your bread and butter. Just do that. Hit looping. If something cool happens, hit the button. You got something. Like, you can put it on your Instagram. You can share your family. You have that memory. That's
yeah,
a perfect spot to just be like, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't
yeah.
need this to be a business.
Yeah, that's what I think that I'm probably going to do. And actually, like the main reason why I'm going to do it is mainly to see where my shot placement is on deer.
Oh, well, you should be able to see where that is anyway if you get them.
Yeah, true. That is true. But I want to just see where my shot placement was
Yeah.
to like know, okay, that
Oh, you're
shot.
talking about like see where it would have been, and did they duck or did I shoot high?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
did I hit a twig? Or did
Gotcha.
the shot end up being a hair further back? Or the deer was maybe turned a little bit more than I thought he was,
Mm,
or something like that, just to know like, okay, I'm gonna
yeah.
dive right in and look for him, or I'm gonna give him a couple hours and wait, or I'm gonna wait like
Yeah.
12 hours and because I knew it was a bad shot. Like
That's
and
super helpful. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
and so that's also why like this year I just added lighted nocks to my setup. This is my first year shooting with lighted nocks.
Mm,
And so I added that into it as well to also help with that because like a lot of the spots that I hunt are pretty thick
mm,
and even when it's sunny out, it's still dark. And
yeah.
so seeing an arrow fly and hit a deer when it's dark and you're in heavy wooded cover, like
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that I hunt is swamps. A lot of the
Yeah.
stuff that I hunt is river bottoms. So like it can be pretty dark in there even though it's sunny out. And especially early season, you have a lot of blockage of the sunlight. So it can be hard to see an arrow fly. So I went to
Right.
that lighted knock setup and then I got that painted arrow magnet mount.
Yeah. You're gonna love that, dude.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
And I like a
I've been
heavy
shooting.
bow. So like I've got so much weight on my stabilizer. I shoot an aluminum bow. I don't shoot a carbon. I've dabbled with the idea of going to carbon, but I don't want to spend that price tag yet. So
Oh no, I've got a ton. My bow's the same way. I've got like 10 ounces added
yeah,
on bars. I
that's
got
what I
long
have.
bars, a front bar, back bar.
Yep, same.
Yeah,
I've
I
got
was
10
just
ounces on
editing
both.
of. If people are listening to this, we already have the first Matthews bonus series out, where I just unboxed everything. But yeah, just I like you went all out this year. Obviously, a great partnership with Matthews that
Yep.
we just started, and so um, it was fun, like building out a bow and doing it the way you want. Like
Yeah.
everyone wants the fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
I get it. I'm also not a guy that typically spends the money on it,
Yeah.
and
And
for
like
once I
for me,
did.
I go and I shoot a new bow every year. And
Oh, that's dangerous, man.
oh,
Jesus.
well it is, but I also like it because it allows me to like think, okay, like
Is
I
it
mean,
that much better?
yeah, is it that much better? And luckily, like for me, the bow that I have right now, the only reason why I haven't gone to a different bow is because I just love the grip on mine so much.
Oh, what are you
And
shooting?
I shoot a Hoyt Ventum Pro 33.
Oh,
And
my wife shoots the Hoyt Venom or the just the normal VTM.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
mine was
she
the
loves
year
it.
before they came out with the VTMs.
Yeah, she loves it.
Yeah,
I just
I love it. It's a great bow. I like it a lot. It's definitely a bow that I love going out west. I would not say it is my favorite for whitetail hunting around home, mainly because it's a 33 axle, so it's a very large bow.
for you that's getting large for sure.
Yeah,
But
and
it
for me,
probably shoots amazing at your
oh,
draw
it
length.
shoots great.
Yeah,
I have zero complaints about the bow
yeah,
besides when I am hunting around home. It
yeah,
is definitely big. And it is, I mean, it is huge. And even though like when I'm out west, I love it though because I can hold it so steady. That's why I have so much weight on it.
yeah.
Like I love it. But hunting around home, it's definitely a little cumbersome. It's definitely big. But like for me, what I'm my plans are is I just love that bow. I love the way that it shoots. I haven't, for me personally, found a bow that just feels better yet.
Yeah.
I know there's definitely bows that shoot faster. There's definitely bows that have a lot of really cool features to them, like when Matthews went to their stabilizer setup, how it's all
The bridge
built in.
lock stuff.
Yes, like that's
Yeah.
badass. Um, like there's like for me, like to be honest with you, and that's the thing that I absolutely love about hunting is I have zero obligations to a single company, and so for me, I just go and shoot all the bows.
Oh yeah,
And
you get freedom. Like you don't have to, you guys are kind of tied in with rods and reels and, you
oh
know,
yeah,
electronics and,
yeah, and
go.
like that's like the one thing that I don't like about where we're at with the Chronicles is we're so tied in with sponsors is that we have to use that stuff.
Yeah.
And so like that's why another reason I love hunting so much is like I have complete freedom. Like the amount of Kuyu, Sitka gear, First Light gear that I have all three brands. I love certain parts of all three brands a lot. Like I love
Yeah.
mixing it up. Like there's so much stuff that like that's it's like I'm in the fun stage of hunting right now, which I absolutely am just obsessed with. Is like I have no obligations for any company at all, and I get to try different things. Like, um,
Yeah. I feel like I'm worried you're gonna become like the anti-hero of like the typical Midwestern born and raised whitetail hunter that he's like, oh my God, he's running around on public land on the ground. He's mixing Sitka and Kuyu. You can't do that. Like
yeah, yeah,
it's like
I love
it's
it.
only tree stands with Sitka.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's how I've got a few buddies that are like that, and like they give me a bunch of crap for doing what I do, but I
It
love it.
works, man. It's
Yeah,
working. Like you can't deny the results.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. It's a ton of fun. Like and that's what I like about it. For me, I'm in that trial and error phase where I'm
Yeah.
constantly testing stuff out, and I like it. So like, and that's the funny thing is because I want to add another bow to the setup here coming up soon because I want to have a bow that I'm probably going to use the one that I have currently right now, and I'm going to use that one for like 3D shoots and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's a great
Um,
bow for that.
Exactly, because it's a really large bow. It's
Hmm.
very stable bow. But like the next one, I want to get like a shorter axle to axle. I'm not sure if I want to go carbon or aluminum, or even like I know Prime. I think it was Prime just came out with a hybrid where it's
Yeah.
part carbon, part aluminum. And I shot it. It actually felt pretty decent. I was pretty impressed with it. The but like whenever I find another bow that I really love, I'm gonna go with. So like, and that's the fun thing. I don't know if it's gonna be a Matthews, a Hoyt, an Elite. I got an Elite shirt
Yeah.
on right now. I've never shot an Elite,
You
but
can do whatever you want, man.
yeah, exactly.
You got a
So
Leopold hat on too, and you don't hunt with a rifle, so
no, but I have I got a spotter from them.
yeah.
I have a pair of long distance binos from them, and then the chest harness that I use deer hunting all year. I've got 10x42s from them on it.
You know
Um,
what needs to someone needs to invent? This could be your way to get into the hunting business side, Matt, because it's
hmm,
perfect for your style. Someone needs to make a spot and stock bino harness.
yeah.
And what I mean by that is like I've got a bino harness that I love. I will fight someone tooth and nail saying it's the best one that's ever been made.
Who's it made by?
I like the Alaska Guide Creations.
Okay, I've never even seen that one.
So it's like OG, like literally like one of the very first ones, but it's simple strap, like boom boom, it's on, nothing
Yep.
complicated there. I got the bino part, I got a rangefinder, I got two little pockets on the sides, I got my wind indicator that slides in a compression sleeve on the top. So I
Yep.
can slide that out, check wind easy. I can put my elk calls on one side. I can put something else on the other side. If I'm rifle hunting, I got a couple extra rounds there. I have a zipper in the back. I slide my tags in a
Yep.
Ziploc. It's like everything I need to kill an animal's right here all the time. If I got that, I'm good.
You'll have to send me
Perfect.
the
It's
link
not
to
too
that
big. It's
one.
not too little. Like the Sitka one, we have one of those too. It's cool, but it gets wider. It's bigger. It's got pockets on the sides.
I
It's
don't
taking
like
up more
how
space.
it opens
Yeah,
forward.
that's got the different open. Mine is it's just a rope that goes over like a shock cord over a hook Never
Yeah.
had any problems with that. It's just perfect. It's got everything I need. And maybe it's
You'll
because
have
it's the first
to
one I bought.
send me the link to that. The one that I'm using right now is the marsupial gear one.
That one's super close. Abby wants that one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will say I do love that one.
It's almost exactly the same, to be honest. Like if you love that one, it's like you wouldn't get it. You'd be like, oh well, that's cool, but it's the same as I already got, so I don't need
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's because I did a bunch of research on chest harnesses and pretty much like I looked at the Kuyu one, didn't really like it. I looked at the Sitka one, didn't really like it. The two that it came down to for me was the Muley Freak one.
Okay.
And then the marsupial gear one, and I went with the marsupial gear one because of the accessories that they had for it. And it was fairly simplistic. It I liked the feel of it. I went and tried it on at Shields, and I really liked the feel of it because my first harness that I had was kind of like a it was just a strap harness for my binos.
Yeah, like the ones that come in the box.
And that's actually what my buddy Justin hunts with, and so that was the first experience I had with like a bino harness, and I liked it. Super minimalistic, very light. You hardly even notice it's there, but you got your binos that are kind of flopping around on you a little bit, and so I wasn't the biggest fan of that. But yeah, so it sounds like that one.
But none of them you can crawl with.
No,
that's the problem. And
yeah.
So like someone needs to come up with one that like you can lay flat and spot and stock and crawl, because it happens in the wet. Like antelope hunting, you're gonna crawl.
Oh,
and so what I always do is I just unbuckle the lower one on the right side and I slip it to like the left. But it's still now if I'm like, okay, now I got to get up and run. Now it's like half on. You know what I mean? Like they need to make one where it's like underneath. If you're an archer, like underneath like your side or something almost, or a way that you could just go and you put it there. I don't know how that would, but something.
Yeah.
That could be your business. I'll give you that one for free.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I did at my previous job, I did a lot of product design stuff, so I could probably dabble with it for sure.
Yeah. You'll have the best way to do it, man. Dude, I'm excited for your fall, and I'm like I'm just a bystander. I'm like, I can't wait for Matt to start hunting and see what happens.
Yeah. You'll have to do what we should do is we'll just go hang and bang some public. If
find
you
a new
come
farm somewhere and let's I could come down with the saddles and we'll just like go scout a farm and hunt and see what happens.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing. And like I said, like all the stuff that I hunt is public butting up to farmland and stuff. So if you want to go, you just let me know and we'll go. Like it's a ton of fun.
It's not that far away, to be honest.
No, it's just on the other side of the metro from me. So for everyone who doesn't know, I live down in the New Prague area. So I hunt pretty much from, I would say like the Waterville area all the way up through the metro and then like over towards Mankato and then over towards Red Wing. I pretty much cover the whole south metro River Valley area is kind of like the spots that I like to hunt. And I do quite a bit of hunting around here, but like I said before, like our deer numbers are pretty low right now. So I've started going further west and then just hunting the River Valley primarily just because I feel like my odds are higher over there. And then normally, like for me, I can hunt like first and second gun, and then my hunting season's pretty much done after that because that's when film season starts to kick off for me. So not sure how many years left I have of that. It's not very many, I can tell you that with the baby. But it's I'm sad that it'll come to an end here soon, but I'm also very excited because that means that I'll have more time to hunt. So
yeah, well, you could become like a reoccurring guest or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can do that.
So for everyone listening, pray for a warm fall for Matt. Make sure there's no ice until December. Let him hunt the rut.
Yeah, because like for me, like I do a bunch of like early season deer. I absolutely love that. Like September is probably, I would say, my favorite month to deer hunt. I know a lot of people are end of October, early November. is their favorite time window, and I love that time window as well. Like that first deer that I shot was on gun opener.
Yeah.
Like I love hunting that time because like you never know. It's kind of like fishing some of these lakes where like could be a 10-inch crappie, could be 18-inch crappie. You don't know until you actually set the hook on it. I mean, live's getting pretty good now where you can pick it out, but
Right.
it's like I love that time frame, but I love being able to put a pattern together
Yeah.
and really be able to figure them out. And like the wild card crapshoot of the rut time frame, like I actually last year I shot and lost what would have been my biggest deer, and I think I
Okay.
told you about that.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, and so like that that was my first deer that I've shot and lost, and I was pretty heartbroken about it at the time, but like for
Yeah,
me,
that'll
like I'm
wreck
a
you.
glass half full kind of guy, so I just like was like, okay, what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
And that one was that one's actually a pretty cool story. Do we have time?
Sure.
So that one, I was driving to work, and I drive past a piece of public on my way to work every day.
Okay.
Um, and it was the week that daylight saving time was. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the last week of October or first week of November.
Yeah, it's usually one of the it's usually one of the deer hunting weekends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I say that like you're talking about September to December. It's usually one of the gun season weekends.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the gun seasons. And I was on my way into work, and I looked over onto the piece of public and I saw a handful of deer. I'm like, oh, sweet. Well, one of those deer was a really, really nice shooter buck. I would probably guess, I mean, I shot at him, so I can tell you how big it was, or at least an idea. But it was probably like a 140 to 150 caliber 10.
Okay.
It was a
Yeah.
very solid buck. Like I would have been ecstatic. It would have been my biggest deer yet. I
Oh,
would
for
have been
sure. Yeah.
absolutely ecstatic about it. And so, um, and that was on my way. Actually, I was on my way home from work, and so I was like, okay, well, saw a buck here. It's public.
Yeah.
I have the weekend free. I'm not doing anything. And so I'm going to just toss my gear into the truck. And if I see him again in the morning on my way into work the next day, I'm going to say screw it and go try to kill him. Because Friday is, I get off work at 4. It was before daylight saving times hit. So I had like 3 hours to hunt after work, 2 hours to
Mm,
hunt after work.
yeah.
Um, and sure as heck, in the morning, saw the deer again. And he was with a little buck and two other does. And so I'm like, okay, game on. Had all my hunting gear in the truck. Got off work at 4. Tossed all my
Longest day of
gear.
work ever.
Oh my gosh, I was losing my mind. And so I got all my gear on, dove into the public, parked, walked along the road, and then cut in. And it's kind of a cool area. It goes from like super hardwood oaks to swamp grass
Hmm.
to really, really tall, thick, overgrown like buckthorn thickets.
Yeah.
And so I hit that edge, and the swamp grass is like probably 20 yards, 10 to 20 yards wide before the thickets and the old oaks or the
Yep.
old cottonwoods. And so I just hugged that cottonwood line, and I work my way up, and then all of a sudden I see the little buck pop out, and he starts walking towards one of the thickets. So I'm sitting there glassing, and I look up and I see a rack inside the thicket bedded down, and I had the wind in my favor. So I start creeping up the edge, getting as close as I possibly can. Little buck comes out of the thicket, and he's probably 40 yards away from me going on a trail. And so I hold tight, and I'm probably 30 yards, 40 yards away from the thicket. And he goes into another thicket. I continue just still hunting and going super slow, using these big cottonwoods to kind of block myself from the thicket where the buck was bedded.
Yep.
I get to like 15 yards from it, and I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I range everything. I'm now 30 yards from that trail. I know I've got a chip shot. If that in that buck, me thinking, okay, that buck is going to go that same way that little buck went. Well, the big buck gets up and he goes the exact opposite way. And I hear a stick break and I like look over to my right. I'm like, ah, crap. He's now at like 20 yards standing, and I'm just holding still, not moving at all, like a deer in headlights. And I'm not even drawn back. And he just keeps walking. He gets to like probably 15 yards, and he gets behind a big cottonwood, and I draw, and I'm sitting there waiting. And he pops out behind the cottonwood, and I had a gap in between two of these cottonwood trees.
Yeah.
And I I tried to lean to force the shot instead of letting him just continue to walk. And when I leaned, he saw me at like the last second, and as I pulled through my shot, he ducked. And so I hit him high in no man's land.
Oh no.
And he just bolted out of there, just bat out of hell sprinting. And I didn't realize that I hit him as high as I thought that I did. And he ended up, we blood trailed him for like 350 yards. And then all of a sudden I went to pin drive. It was great blood to start though. Bright red blood. There was one patch where you could tell he had coughed up some blood. So I think I clipped a lung. But I hit him pretty high. So I knew that the likelihood that we were going to get the deer was pretty low. But I spent the whole next 2 days, the whole rest of the weekend, scouting and looking for him.
Yep.
And it got down to pin drops. I backed out because we were like 350 yards deep now. I backed out. We got my buddy's dog who blood trails, brought him out. He took us another like 200 yards, and then it was just nothing. And we were following it. Luckily, it had just rained the day before, which is why I was able to get so close to that deer. It had just rained, so like my footsteps were completely silent. Like he had no idea I was there until I shot him, or until I leaned. That's when he knew I was there. And there was no rain in the forecast, so it was perfect tracking conditions. And it got to a point where we're like, this deer is probably going to survive. Well, luckily 2 weeks later, we saw him perfectly fine chasing a doe.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, he had a wound in his back. Luckily, the arrow had fallen out. He had a wound on both sides, but it was definitely a backstrap shot, and I don't think that I hit any arteries or anything like that. But I was surprised with how much he had bled. But yeah, we saw him 2 more times.
Crazy.
Yeah, we saw him 2 more times.
How much they will bleed from a muscle wound.
Yeah, it's insane. I could not believe it.
Deep, dark blood. You're like, oh, this is done. He's out. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse. Like when that muscle finally drains, it's crazy. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't think that would be that much blood. But
it was insane. Like
last year.
There was 2 spots that
he must have just stopped or something,
Yeah, there was 2 spots where like one, there was like the first 50 yards, there was blood on both sides, like up the branches and stuff. And I'm like, oh, he's spraying, like he's game over, done. Like I must have hit an artery. And then like the next 50 yards, it was very spotty, but it was consistent. And there was 2 areas of pools of blood. And so I thought, it was game over. But yeah, unfortunately we did lose that one. So that sucked.
He's still there.
But he's still there, and I learned a ton. And
maybe this year you're gonna get him.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I take out beforehand, because I've got that one really big one that I've seen on opening day.
Oh, true. Yeah, you got 2. Well, you got a good season lined up, man. You got 2 giants that you got.
Yeah. Luckily, like I've spent enough time on the pieces of public where I'm really excited for this year, because I'm starting to know what spots to hunt, when, where, why, and that's probably been my most exciting portion about hunting so far, is that I've started to figure out and put pieces of the puzzle together on certain areas. Because like the first 2 years I saw maybe like 3 deer total. Luckily the second year was a nice doe. I was able to harvest that doe. The year before that was that nice buck that I shot. And then last year I didn't shoot a Minnesota buck. I lost that one. And then the year before that, I didn't shoot a Minnesota buck. I'd shot a small doe. But I'm slowly starting to get the pieces of the puzzle together, and
Yeah.
it's tough hunting public because there's only so much that you can do. Like
Yeah.
it other people come in, screw up your hunt. Like I shot a nice doe last year on public, and literally 20 minutes before that doe came through, we watched that doe run past us because a squirrel hunter had busted her out, and the squirrel hunter walked like me and my buddy tag teamed this pinch point, and he was on one side of it, I was on the other side, and he walked like 20 yards in between us, and we whistled at him, let him know that we were up in the trees, and he was very nice and actually backed out. We didn't say any words or anything. We just whistled to let him know that we were there. And he was actually super nice, and he just backed out and went the other way. Well, that deer came back through and walked like 15 yards right past me. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was nice. So I do enjoy the hunting of public land around here, but it's also, I mean, there's your trial and tribulations to it.
Well, you've shot more bucks on public land and probably more deer on public land in just 5 years of hunting than most people probably ever do in their life because they just write it off.
I mean, and
Just,
that's the crazy thing. That's just all I have right now. Like I'm at the point now where I don't have the time to do any door knocking.
yeah,
I don't
for
own
sure.
any land or have any family that owns land that I can go hunt. I've got buddies that have permission on tons of pieces of private around here, but I hate going and doing that because I always either A, feel like I'm stepping on toes, or B, they're not really my spots or anything like that. So
Yeah,
I don't want to screw anything up or do something that they wouldn't do because I don't know that area very well or that spot very well. So
right.
it's just, for me, hunting public's just the easiest thing to do. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can
You can do it.
go, like
You
if
don't
I
have
get a
to
couple
ask.
hours after work, I can just go.
Yeah,
On the weekends, I can just go. So yeah, it makes it easier. But I'm sad I'm not going out west this year, though. That's the
it's
one
for a
thing.
good reason. It'll be
Yeah,
for a
it's
good
for a good
cause.
reason. Yeah,
So
like I
no,
had Nebraska planned, and I literally, I had gotten it all figured out at the ice show this year. Me, my cousin Dan, and my
yep.
buddy Justin were going to go to my buddy's ranch in Nebraska. They were up here for the ice show. So we literally got everything all figured out. And then, like a week later, Anna is like, "Oh, hey, guess what? I'm pregnant."
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, "Oh, okay, oh, this is great." And then we found out what the due date was, and it was August 29th. It was just like right in the middle of the week that we planned to go to Nebraska. I'm like, "No, you got to be kidding me, no."
That's not
But
gonna work out. Yeah.
yep, nope, not gonna work out. And so, like, I've just decided, like, you know what, we'll just write off hunting out west this year. I
Mhm.
just continue to build points, and we'll see how it goes. But
Awesome.
have you ever decided, like, or have you ever dabbled with, doing like a Wyoming black bear hunt?
I've had people that have done it. I haven't done it. Are you talking fall or spring?
Probably spring, more than likely
Okay.
spring, like a
I
spring
know a
bear
lot of
hunt.
people that spring bear hunt. I don't know anyone that does it with the bow unless they're baiting, though.
Yeah,
So if you're doing it with the bow, I think bears are incredibly hard to hunt in the mountains.
yeah, that's what I've heard. I just want to
Because
shoot a color phase one. I'm building points out there right now. I just want to shoot a color phase black bear. I think those like cinnamon colored bears that have
yeah,
like the white patches on them are just the coolest looking bears ever.
yeah, I would do it with the rifle.
Oh
I
yeah,
think you should. I think you should do it the right. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I've talked about people. I've talked to people that done it. Um, like spring. People say like spring bear hunting is just like they like. I love it. Like it's just
yeah.
amazing. And I'm like, I want to try it sometime. I think it'd
That's
be
I
fun.
want to try it. Like I want to try it as well. Like me and a couple buddies, we were building points here in Minnesota for bear hunting up north. I think there was like we had I think we had like 2 or 3 points built up, and then we just completely forgot about it. And I'm at the point where, like, I don't really want to do that. It's hot, it's gross out.
Bugs. You
You're
have to
sitting
bait.
over
Yeah.
bait. You're constantly having to go and replenish baits, and it's just like that doesn't really sound like that much fun. So
No.
I've kind of wrote that off, but I really want to do, like, I would love to spot and stock one with the bow. I think it would be
Yeah.
insanely difficult, but
Check out Montana too.
okay. Do they
Yeah.
have black bears?
Oh, yeah, way
I
more
don't
than
know.
Wyoming.
I haven't, bear hunting's kind of new to me, so I haven't really dabbled with looking into
Montana's
it at
got
all.
way more bear habitat than Wyoming.
Okay.
Yeah. Way easier tags too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
I'll
some
have to.
places it's even over the counter.
Oh, no way. I'll have to.
Yeah.
I'll have to do some digging into that thing because
Yeah.
like
I mean,
that.
the whole state is basically black bear country in Montana. Wyoming, you're really just in the northwest, and then a little in the south.
Yeah,
The
the northwest corner was where I was looking at cashing
yeah,
in points in like 5 or 6 years because I believe it was that northwest corner. They have it's mostly higher point draw
yeah,
units over there.
yeah. Check out Montana for sure.
Okay, I'll have to do that. Bucket list is still a blueberry bear though. I want to shoot one of those.
That can be anywhere.
Yeah,
They have them in Montana.
yeah, I want to shoot a blueberry bear really bad because
Yeah,
of
you
the
get the
purple
blue
fat.
fat. Yeah,
Yep,
yep.
yep. I want to see the purple fat and I want to
People
render
say
all
it
that.
tastes delicious too.
Yeah. Well, what I
Yeah,
want to do is I want to start cooking like ribeyes and back straps in the
in
blueberry
bear
fat.
fat. Yeah,
Yeah.
render it down for sure.
Yep. Render down the bear fat and then
You got to
cook
start
it.
listening to the Bear Grease podcast.
I have been a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where this all coming from. Just full circle moment. Now I get it.
Yep. Yep. This is where it's coming from. So that's why I'm starting to think about it a little bit as
Awesome.
add it to the
Well,
bucket list.
well, we'll have to definitely get that. We already got the caribou when we turn 40 because we're both the same age.
Yep.
We'll do the blueberry bear. We'll get super rich and famous, so then we can hunt 6 or 7 times a year like Pink.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
our thing will just be deer camps.
Yeah.
Like that's the story is the deer
Yeah.
camp, the people in camp. Like we kind of someone shot a deer, but like just the bonfire deer camp, and like it's kind of like the hunting public, except like they really focus on the deer part of it,
Yeah.
and a little that's like focus on the camp, having good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the camaraderie, the craziness, the just circus.
Yeah. Like that's my favorite part down here. Like one of my best buddies down here, Brooks, he's the one with all the permission pieces down here. And so like the last couple of years he hosted deer camp. He's got like a little small area. I think it's like 5 acres or 4 acres or something like that with a couple outbuildings on it. We don't hunt it at all.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go shoot the bows there, but we just go and put the fish houses up and we just camp out on that little piece that he's got, and all the guys go and do the permission piece stuff for any of their family farms and stuff, and then I'll just go bebop around on public and we do a deer camp and we wake up at like 10. We'll wake
That
up
sounds awesome.
Yeah,
that's my kind of deer camp.
yeah, exactly. It's a ton of fun. I absolutely love it. It's easily like one of the things I look forward to the most is turkey camp in the spring with the boys, and then deer camp on gun opener with the rest of the guys. So it's doing those trips, like that's been my favorite part so far about like fall rut hunting is I'm not really expecting to see a whole lot, but yeah, I'm just excited to get out with the guys and shoot the shit and talk about what you didn't see. And
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
Absolutely.
That's
what are your plans for this fall?
We're doing Colorado mule deer for sure. That's our big hunt. We'll do I think we have like 10 days aside for that. And then we'll do whitetails here at the back 40 where we live, and then whitetails in Alexandria where our family farms are. And if things go phenomenally well and I tag out, I might look at doing like an over-the-counter North Dakota or over-the-counter Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. That's not a bad idea. Over-the-counter Wisconsin, actually, that one is... It is on the list for me. Yeah. It's if I tag out and if I have a free weekend, the baby might kind of throw that one off. But if I have the ability to do it, I'm going to try to do it. Yeah. Because like it's over the counter. It's there.
Yep.
Like,
and where you are right there is like the world's best hunting.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, it's not the same up here.
Yeah.
Northern Wisconsin and Buffalo County are much different from each other.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I would just go and bounce around a bunch of public. And then like for me, like I'm thinking like probably 3 or 4 years down the road, I'm going to get quite a bit more picky on what I decide to harvest. But right now, like for me, like if it's outside the years and that's a shooter for me right now at this point,
Dude,
because I'm just
shooting
trying to,
bucks is fun. Like
yeah,
it
I'm
doesn't
just trying
matter.
to
They're
rack up
always
as much
fun.
as I possibly can. So what I
Yeah.
want to do is if I get the opportunity this fall, I'm going to buy a tag and I'm going to go and still hunt and hunt a bunch of public over there and just see what happens.
Nice. Yeah. Well, if we both tag out, I'll join you.
Oh, absolutely. That would be so much fun.
Yeah. Bring
I would
bring
I would have a
a
blast with that. But you do have to come down though and do at least one hang and bang hunt with me.
we'll do it. I'm game.
Yep. Let's pick a
100%.
weekend in September and get after it.
I've got all the I've got all the stuff. Yeah, just I want to get one of the new prototype XOP stands, but I still have plenty of stuff. I just want
Yeah.
that. They just released some sweet like ultra light saddle stands.
Platforms.
Yeah. Like
Nice.
5 pounds, 7 pounds.
Oh wow. Oh, like
Yeah.
an actual stand.
It's a tree stand that weighs like 7 pounds.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I
That's
hunted out of it in
insane.
Nebraska last year as a pro. Like I couldn't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
Now they
Oh,
just
that's when
released
you
them.
went on that. Yeah, that's when you went on
Yeah.
that XOP trip.
Yeah.
When it
Yeah.
was
They're sweet.
insanely hot.
Yeah. I got poison ivy on day one.
Ooh.
Yeah. I must have sat in it. I don't know if it's poison oak, poison ivy, it was something. And we were camping without any showers. So like by the end of the week, I just assumed everything was like that blanket's got poison ivy. This has got
I would have
bad.
burned my sleeping bag. I would have burned everything when I
The
got
problem
back.
is I have nice gear, like really
Oh,
nice gear.
dude,
I wasn't using a sleeping bag, so that didn't matter. It was
okay,
too hot
that's
for
good.
sleeping bags.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have. Oh man, I would have
I
probably.
slept I've used all the gear since and I don't get it anymore, so that's good. But
That's good. I would have. I would have washed the living heck out of it.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was miserable. But no, we'll definitely do that. We'll definitely do the hang and bang. I love it. I want to get more into the hang and bang, run and gun, public land, just see what happens. So I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait for fall to be here.
Oh, same here. That's all I'm looking forward to right now. I'm going out this week. And I'm going to start shooting the bow every other day, if not every day.
Yeah, it's time. It is time. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, thanks for being on the podcast, Matt, Waldo. Don't forget your code word, folks. And
Yep.
thanks for listening. We'll wrap this one up and yeah, start getting ready for fall.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Anytime.